Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this community of ours. The goal here is to help entrepreneurs, which I believe are the people who are changing the world. And while I don't have every answer, I have started and exited 4 businesses and have another one going right now. And so anything that might be rattling around in my brain that can help any entrepreneur out there become better, I'm all about that. Today, I want to talk about something that's going on in my own business, Six Pack, and kind of how I'm dealing with it. And maybe this is something that is a common thing that you might be dealing with as well and can help you in your business. So, it's a software platform, my business, and it really focuses on tools for businesses. But there's a component of consumer usage where not only can the business do things that then their customers can interact with them, but there's also some tools inside of it for the individual user. And as a small, scrappy startup company, something that I am dealing with is how do I allocate resources and where do I have the time or bandwidth or people, to deal with the issue at hand. And one of the things I'm facing right now is this push and pull around whether we spend our time and effort on the business or whether we spend our time and effort on the consumer. And obviously in our business, we have to spend a little bit of time in both no matter what, because they're related to each other. But where do we focus our marketing efforts, our sales efforts, and really the future roadmap? Should it be business tools that drive with, whatever, cascading needs that consumers of the businesses have, or should there be tools that can be specifically for the consumer individual user that creates that stickiness as well? And I've kind of gone back and forth on this decision, and really what ultimately drove kind of where we spend time on a roadmap is our revenue. Where is our revenue generated from? Where do we think our future revenue can be generated from? And what's the easiest path with this, slim team that we have to be able to, make the biggest impact? And after careful consideration, going through kind of all those different things, I've made the decision that focusing on the business is going to be the right way. Doesn't mean we're disregarding it, but it certainly means that we're pivoting our focus, pivoting the roadmap, and really putting a double down effort into the business side of it and less so much on the consumer side. And that's going to obviously have some risks and some impacts as well. But, I know in anybody's business, you're going to be faced with these, decisions where you're competing with resources. You have different areas that you want to focus on, and you can't do them all, right? We want to do them all, but you can't spend all of your time, doing everything because you'll end up doing nothing. So that's first and foremost. The other thing that I've been debating is what type of vertical we should be focused on, right? Since our tools are really broad and they focus and solve the needs of lots of different business types, that doesn't necessarily mean that lots of business types are going to necessarily use us. And so what we've really tried to figure out is, okay, where do we have the easiest path to have the customers resonate with our product? Where do we have the least amount of competition? And where do we have the most expertise? And so, again, same thing, we're going through kind of these options and looking at the 5 different verticals we're focusing on, and made the tough decision that we're just going to focus on one right now, really try to build out those tools, build out, the marketing behind it, and ultimately focus on, kind of one vertical, become really successful at it before we get into 2. So anyway, that's what I've been focusing on today. I hope these can be helpful things for you in your journey. And if anything, use this to help make decisions so that you can obviously align around what makes sense for your business. Anyway, I'm Ron Dichter. This is Projecting Grandeur. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and comment, and most importantly, share. Thanks so much.